We begin with Labour and Andrew Little. The man himself joins us after 6. But he and the party must now grapple with another disastrously poor poll result. As we know, Labour has recorded its lowest ever result in the One News Colmar Brunton poll at 24%, and it's been revealed today that the party's latest internal polling is even worse, down a further point at 23%. Here's our Deputy Political Editor, Chris Bramwell.
Labour's feeling the pressure just 8 weeks out from the September 23 election. 2 poll results in 2 days both have the party on less than the 25% Labour got at the last election, when it suffered its worst defeat in 92 years. Andrew Little says he has to take responsibility for the poll results, and part of that was discussing his leadership with colleagues last week. But he says he got the message from his MPs they want him to stay on and fight the election.
What I said to some senior colleagues last week is, given that result, an option that had to be considered is whether I should continue in that role. That's an honourable thing to consider given that result, but I am no less diminished in my determination to fight hard in this election.
Under Labour Party rules, the election of a new leader is decided by 40% caucus, 40% party membership and 20% by the unions. But if a leadership vacancy arises in the 3 months before a general election, then a new leader can be elected by a simple caucus vote. Labour's Napier MP Stuart Nash says he backs Andrew Little 100% and has urged him to stay on as leader.
What Andrew has done over the last 2.5 years, and he is being honest. He is not gilding the lily in any way, shape or form. He is telling it as he sees it. And I think this is one of the features of Andrew, which is to his advantage. You're not going to get someone who stands there and tells New Zealand, no, I'm not worried about the leadership whatsoever. We're fine and there's only one poll that we care about, and that's election day. He's being honest.
Stuart Nash absolutely does not support changing the leadership this close to an election.
I think if we did change the leadership, we would absolutely implode. I really believe that. I think it would be a disaster. But what we're going to see in the next 8 weeks is a whole lot of policy rolled out. We haven't even really started the formal campaign period. I know we're in the attributable period, but, writ day hasn't closed. And in the last month, you're going to see some really good stuff come out of Labour, some really good policy, in a much more public way than you're seeing at the moment.
Labour's finance spokesperson Grant Robertson says Andrew Little had a very human reaction to a very disappointing poll result.
As a good, responsible leader, he thought about all of his options. He's made very clear that he is in for the fight. He wants to be there to lead a change of government, to get New Zealand back to a place where we're looking after our people and we're investing in our public services, and we're backing him to do that.
Grant Robertson, who unsuccessfully stood against Mr Little for the Labour leadership, says he's seen no indication that Andrew Little will step down in the run-up to the election.
Andrew has my support. He's been duly elected as the leader of the party. He's been out in front working his guts out for us. He's a tough guy. This is a tough fight, and he said that he's in it to win it, and we're going to back him.
The UMR poll result, which emerged today, has Labour at 23%, but in that poll National has also taken a hit, dropping 5 points to 42. The winners are the Greens, which are up 3 to 15, and New Zealand First up 5 to 16%. Labour's Deputy Leader Jacinda Ardern says the party always has a discussion about lifting its game when it gets a disappointing poll result.
Certainly, no doubt, we want our vote to be higher. But at the same time, you'll hear the Prime Minister talking about how, National is in a position where they'll be needing coalition partners as well. A lot can happen in 7 weeks. We just have to make sure that New Zealanders are hearing the real differences, the different political offerings that are out there, and that they have a chance to make a vote based on the issues rather than distractions.
The former Labour leader David Cunliffe had no comment to make about the situation facing Mr Little and Labour, except this piece of advice: focus on unity and the difference Labour can make for New Zealanders. Atu i te whare pārimata mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Chris Bramwell aho.